check your purpose and what are your passions, what makes you excited.
And I am so excited to have you guys here.
Together, online.
Good evening mga kabiskarte and welcome to another episode of In The Biz where we talk about yung mga biskarte stories of successful business owners, business leaders, and entrepreneurs here on the Plus Network channel on Kumu. So thank you so much for joining us. This is our 12th episode of In The Biz. So sa lahat ng ating mga kabiskarte who have stuck with us through all 12 episodes, maraming salamat for always being here with us every Tuesday, or for some time we also did some Wednesdays. But thank you for always joining us for our Bizkarte Talk. So thank you so much everyone for joining us, ating mga kabiskate, for yet another episode of In The Biz. Alright, so sino yung mga kabiskate natin na nandito ngayon? Tingnan, andito si Pedestrian, says, hey, good evening po, Sir Rafael Pedestrian, thanks for joining. Andito din si Gramzy. Uy, si Idol Jesse James is also here. MJ Barrera, Kayla Aguilar, Danny Luna, thanks for joining us here on In The Biz. So guys, this is our 12th episode, right? Isang dosena na ang ating episode. And thank you so much again for joining us. We've heard so many stories already of various business leaders, business owners across different industries. Now, if you guys remember, we started with a lot of food businesses, and then we also looked into some fitness businesses, as well as even yung mga cinema and all other industries in the past weeks. No, can you believe it's already our 12th episode? It's been 3 months. Grabe how time flies, like a whole quarter of In The Biz. And speaking of quarter, sakto talagang at this time of the year, mga businesses very busy, no, kasi it's also time for, you know, the quarterly review, business review. But you know, perfect, because right now this is our 12th episode, and for tonight we will be talking naman about a very important aspect of running a business, no? So we know, marami magsasabi that running a business, of course, as we all know, it's very important that the business will always make money, no? The company is able to make money. But why does a company have to make money? Why does business have to make money? Naririnig natin usually mga terms about business, about dapat profitable, diba? Dapat may laging merong tubo. There's actually nothing wrong sa paglalagay ng tubo in business. Why? Because that is actually what will sustain the company. You know, more than just making money, the purpose actually of making money for any business is sustainability. It's one thing to make money today, but it's another thing to make money sustainably. Diba? Ayaw natin ng short term lang, ayaw natin pa-fling-fling lang, diba? Ayaw natin ng mabilisan lang. Kailangan, for any business, it should be long term. Kaya din usually sa business, naririnig natin yung mga term na it's a going concern. Bakit? Because we want it to be sustainable. We want it na talagang tuloy-tuloy yan, not just for 1 month, 1 quarter, 1 year, but we want it to stand the test of time. And standing the test of time is always proof of a successful business. At ang maganda dyan, ang ating bisita tonight, she is a very successful business because her company has been standing the test of time, not just for a year, not for 3 years, not for 5 years, but for 11 years. 11 years na siya, guys. 11 years nang very stable, very strong ang kanyang business for the past 11 years. And we will be hearing her story of how she was able to lead her company and to withstand the test of time, even with the hit of the pandemic last year. As you would know, yung industry niya, she's actually in the retail industry. And she's in the in the clothing industry, which was actually among the hardest hit industries by the pandemic, by the lockdown. So malalaman natin how they were able to stand strong and still stay alive up to this day. And now they are actually standing for 11 strong years. Yun ang magnapakagandang kwento ng ating bisita tonight, ang ating maririnig natin ano ba yung biskarte niya para tumagal ng ganong katagal, 11 years. So again, thank you so much guys for joining us tonight. Sino pa yung mga ating mga kabiskarte na nandito ngayon? Nandito si Life of Chi, si Keishi also, si Haruaki, the BP Liwag, Eka Ferrer, Paulo Umali, Baumgart family, thanks for joining us. John Delgado, thanks for joining us. And thank you for that halo-halo, John Delgado. Andito din si Angela FP, si Chinks. Thank you so much for that. Jeneline also, and Chloe Rose, thank you so much for joining us for another episode of In The Biz, where we talk about mga bizkate stories ng ating mga successful business owners, business leaders, and entrepreneurs. We'll be hearing about their journey. Ano yung mga challenges na pinagdadaanan ng ating mga business owners, sa mga kabiskarte natin, ang ating bisita. And like I mentioned, yung ating bisita for tonight will share their story that actually allowed them, their journey in keeping their company strong for the past 11 years. And that is every company, every business owner's dream, to withstand the test of time. And they have proven their business for 11 years. So, kilalanin na natin siya, ang ating bisita for tonight, for this 12th episode of In The Biz. Maririnig na natin ang kanyang bizkate. Let's all welcome Miss Diana Bediones-Po, the owner of Flattering Tops. Hi, Diana!
Hi, Raf! Good evening! Good evening to everybody! Hi!
Hey, Diana, thanks for joining us. And grabe, when I was just really going through that, ang ganda talaga ng story. Like I was saying, it's every business owner's dream to be able to withstand the test of time. And grabe, you started in what, 2009 was it? My gosh, I was still in high school that time.
Oh, wow. You feel old now, Raf, ha?
Does it show? You look very young. I think mukha tayo magka-age nga lang eh. Diba?
Yes.
But that's amazing. Why don't you tell us about that, Diana? No, like you were able to keep your company strong for the past 11 years. How did it start back in 2009?
Actually, it all started, Raf, with me feeling fat and the body changes. So I wanted to find something in the market that would look great. And with that, I couldn't find any. So that's when I decided maybe I should start making my own clothes. And yeah. And then let's see if other people would want to buy it too. That's what Flattering Tops is all about. It's all about body positivity, feeling good with the body that you have. Because with Flattering Tops, we are helping conceal what the women want to hide.
I see. Ang ganda nun actually. It's very very common actually, for businesses. And actually, it starts from a pain point that was felt by the founder himself or herself, no?
Yes.
And I love what you mentioned, that it's really about giving that confidence to your customers when they wear your clothes, the clothes, the dresses that you make for them. And when you were starting, no, this was 2009. Wala pang concept of e-commerce. What was the landscape like back then when you were starting and bringing this whole concept of Flattering Tops to your customers?
Raf, we started a lot with bazaars. We went to Ayala Alabang, we had in Rockwell and World Trade Center. Wherever there were bazaars, we would introduce Flattering Tops.
You mentioned bazaars, no? Very usong-uso na Sino dito guys nakakamiss na sa mga yung mga bazaar,
Yeah.
'di ba? Especially
Ang
if
sarap ng action sa bazaar,
school.
Raf. Ang daming tao, exciting, magulo. Ang sarap magbasar, nakakapagod, pero masarap ang feeling.
Yes, oo, definitely nakakapagod yun. I mean, nakatayo ka ng pagkatagal-tagal and yet, it's
Yes.
very fulfilling to be able to meet so many different people, different customers, and
Yes.
possibly even hear their stories, no? What was that like, no?
Yes.
In 2009, wherein it was a really great way to connect with customers, very, very real way to connect with customers, even for a limited time sa bazaars. How did that run your business, and how did that influence the growth of your company? No?
Yes, I think the bazaars were a perfect way for us to introduce what is Flattering Tops about. So the clients in the
Mm-mm.
bazaars would get curious. They would look, oh, ano ba yan? So we would invite them, we would tell them about it, and then we'd tell them, do you have a few minutes? Would you like to try it on? And that's when they would see
Mm-mm.
that, oh, it really is flattering.
Oh, wow. I mean,
Yeah.
what does that look like? Maybe you could paint a
Mhm.
picture for us. You mentioned na parang you make them try it and then they realize it's something. What does that look like? And then how does that make your customers feel in that very moment in a bazaar?
So let's say, Raf, in a scenario in a bazaar, there are different stores, so you really have to grab their attention. So
Yeah.
we had our
Oh.
display, and then we had our salespeople invite the clients to try on the clothes, and then they'd tell us their problem points. Some of them would be like, "I'm conscious about my stomach," which a lot of us are. So we would help them. We would pick clothes for them that would look nice, and then they'd see themselves in the mirror, and then they say, "Yeah, I like this." And then that's when they would see the magic, feel the magic, and say, okay, give me all colors. That's the fun in the bazaar. Yeah.
Oo.
That's my
Ay, ang
favorite part.
ganda.
Once they try it on and then they look at themselves in the mirror and then they feel good and then like, wow, I can look and feel this good. That's what the
Mm-mm.
best part for me is.
I mean, that is beautiful. I mean, right there and then, nakikita niyo na
Yes.
yung impact on the lives of your customers. But I think what I'm really curious about is when you think you just mentioned it din kanina, no, na pagka sa bazaar, you really have to capture their attention. I mean, these could be
Yeah.
people just who happen to pass by, who happen to have just seen it. But how are you able to attract that attention? I mean, how do you get customers to go to your booth, is it, ano ba yung tamang term sa bazaar, 'di ba?
Yes, the booth.
Where you're the booth, right, 'di ba? So how do you get your more and more customers coming to your booth or to your stall there in the bazaar? Ano yung strategy niyo nun?
It's just very simple, Raf. Like, for one, I would be wearing the clothes. And then they would see
Oh.
the one that, oh, it looks comfortable on her. There. So once
Hmm.
they see it, that's when we can get their attention already. How about you try this one? And actually, the people are there to shop. They're looking for something. You just have to know what are they looking for? What do they want? Once you know, you can already invite them and help them out. They will tell you what they need. They're there to shop.
Oh, I mean, the intention is already there. Na talagang
Yes,
they're actually there on a mission. They really want to buy something. The question is, can you give them what they're looking for? And I
exactly.
see a comment here. I think this one's from one of your customers, your loyal customers. Sabi ni Dapong Dil 44. I discovered Flattering Tops on IG and looked for you in the bazaar you promoted. O sabi ni It's K
Oh,
without Y, adding to cart. Aba, bibili na si It's K without Y.
oh,
So
go,
yun,
go.
did,
Thank you for the
si
support.
oo, I mean, ang ganda talaga kasi kita-kita naman din from your ano, you're a testimony to your own product, that it really is comfortable and it really looks great, 'di ba? Na it was mentioned here by Dapong, right, na nakita daw niya in Instagram, right? Did you already
Yeah.
enter the Instagram space back in 2009? What was your online strategy back then? Or did you already
Yeah.
have online strategy, or was it just bazaars?
Actually, very limited on online before. 2009, Multiply pa. Yan, mahalata na yung age
Oh
ko.
my
Started with
gosh, yes.
Multiply. Anybody
Yeah.
remember Multiply? After Multiply, Facebook. We use Facebook to
Oo.
invite clients. Different na kasi yung Facebook now. When you look at Facebook, para na siyang website where you can shop. It's evolved. But before, para
Mm.
siyang, ano lang, you can just post na we're gonna be in this bazaar. Come visit us if you'd like to see the products. And it helped us. The clients would go there. They'd tell us, oh, I saw you on Facebook and I really wanted to try on the clothes before buying. So that's
Oo.
what helped.
I love that. I mean, 2009, I remember, I think very fairly new pa in the Philippines ang Facebook na. I mean, like you
Yes.
said back then, multiply pa. Sino dito yung mga users pa ng multiply,
Hands
no? I mean,
up!
sino mga umabot
Friendster days, mga ganun.
oo, mga
Yes.
nag-Friendster, nag-multiply, yung mga nakakaalala pa sa ano, sa sa multiply. Why don't you send us a Carlito hug para hug tayo ng mga panahon natin na nagkakaalaman ng age, nagkakalaglagan ng age. Eh. So hug natin 'yan. I-hug
Yes.
natin 'yan, guys. Pero I mean, I love that kasi as early as 2009, Facebook was very new. Instagram, I
Wala
can't
pa.
remember when it's wala pa
Yeah.
yata that time, 'di
Wala pa
ba?
ba?
And yet you were already there. I mean, the whole concept of digital commerce and or e-commerce and digital marketing, parang that was non-existent at that time, and yet you were already promoting on Facebook. How did you know, and how did you do that? No, wala pa talagang digital marketing lessons or tutorials out there, and yet you were already doing it. How did you know that that was the right thing to do to get people to go to your to your bazaars and wherever you might be?
Actually, it was more of just trying. Kasi I just wanted to try something new. It might work. So let's try promoting it on Facebook. And then when I'd see that there would be comments that, okay, we're going to come there, we're going to visit you, that's when we got excited that, hey, this social media is helping us. So we have to be posting more often. We have to be present more often. And we have to post nice photos also so that they would know what are your products, what will you be selling in the bazaar? Why would I go come see you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, that's really at the very early stage of digital
Yeah.
marketing in its finest, no? I mean, wala
Mm.
pa yang nga yatang mga Facebook ads back then, di ba?
Wala pa, wala. Kaya
Wala
organic
pa.
lahat nun.
Very
Yes.
organic. I mean,
Yeah.
that's really amazing, and you were really just testing all the way, right? And
It was hard to build pa. It was hard
oh,
to
it
build
was
an
just
audience online. Because people were
mm-mm.
skeptical also to buy online if they could trust you. That's why they wanted in the bazaars.
Oo, I can imagine 'no, parang ngayon pa nga lang there's still a level of hesitation in the market, about buying online. I mean, there were studies that showed na, compared to other countries, the penetration of e-commerce here in the Philippines is at just what, 5%?
Oh.
Unlike in other in the likes of China, Taiwan, it's already at 50% of the market. So,
Wow.
but back
Yeah.
then, I can imagine probably baka, I don't know, baka less than 1% in
Yes.
2009. But how did that evolve across the years for Flattering Tops, and how did you adapt to the changes in the market as you moved on?
Actually, it was in 2013 when we joined Instagram. And it was
Mm,
fairly new in
yes.
2013. So we just started by posting a few photos. And then we started to get traction when there were celebrities who caught the attention of Flattering Tops and they wanted to order. It was a big help for us in Instagram to gain followers whenever the celebrities would post and would wear the clothes that they got from us. The celebrities were really a big help and the bloggers as well.
Wow, I mean that time
Yes.
ang mga ano pa, you were able to capture the interest of celebrities. Hindi pa yata uso at all ang influencers back then, but there were already
Yes.
bloggers. What
A
was
few
that like?
lang.
Oh, sobrang pioneer ng brand mo, Diana, na parang you were already there promoting on Facebook when everyone was still figuring out what the hell is Facebook in the first place.
Yeah.
What's it for? And yet you're already doing business on Facebook. And then you even got those bloggers. And what was it like? And then how did you figure out that that might be a good way to promote the brand?
It was more of feeling through it.
Mm-mm.
We didn't know that would it be a hit, would it not be a hit. But you always in the business you always have to try, and you always have to do new things, because if you keep doing the same old thing, how are you going to expect different results? So it's
That's
really
right.
good that, yeah, with the business you'll never know if you'll get good results. So you might as well try something new. You won't lose by trying. At least you'll learn something. So that's what
That's
we did. We
true.
kept on trying different things. Should we post this photo? Should we post a video? We mix it up.
That is true. And ang ganda nun talaga what you said na parang in running a business, it's really about testing, and we've been hearing a lot of the saying lately now. It's all about build test learn, diba? You try something out, you test it in the market and learn from it, whether it works or it fails. What matters is you learn, diba? I mean, you win some, you learn some. That's a really
Yes.
something that we can pick up from business. And speaking of learning, now that brings us to our tradition na natin to sa ating In The Biz. Now we have In The Quiz, ang ating game
Oh.
kung for our audience, sa ating mga kabiskarta, it's time to guess the fabric. All right? So, tama, guess the fabric. So, magpapakita tayo ng mga fabric, hulaan natin ano ba yung material na yan. And we'll be seeing sino yung mga magagaling who are really into fashion clothing. No? So, let's see our first fabric.
Wow.
Wow. Okay, so
Yes lang guys, kaya yan.
okay, kaya picture. Okay,
A,
ako
B,
mismo
or
I
C lang
don't know
naman.
this. Oh, is it A, chiffon, B, satin, or C, georgette? Ano yung chiffon? Akala ko chiffon is just cake. May ganun ba? Is it chiffon or satin or georgette? I mean, I never knew na may ganon. Tingnan natin. What do our kabizkartes say?
Pwede
Andito
ba natin sila tulungan, Raf? Pwede ba tayo mag-eliminate ng isa? Tanggalan ko sila ng isa.
ikaw,
Can I tell them ano yung hindi? Definitely, it's not letter C.
it's not Georgette.
Para may clue.
Okay.
A or B na lang, guys.
Medyo pinadali
Oh.
ng ating bisita. It's not Georgette. So, we're down to A or B. Chiffon or
Kaya nyo na yan.
satin. Alright, tingnan natin. Ano mas sinasabi ng ating mga kabizkarte? Sabi ni Natasha Pauline Pokua. That's my cousin. Oh, your cousin is joining us here.
Hi,
Thanks for joining us, Natasha.
Yes.
Sige, so yung mga sagot ng ating mga kabizkarte. Adi Hearn says A, pedestrian. Sabi niya A. Natasha Pauline says C. Naku, Natasha, kasi
Naku,
sabi lang,
out
mali.
na. Has.
Out na. Out na si
Out
Pinsan.
na. Try again.
User 833-824 says B. Juarez B says HHJ. Good evening, sabi ni Melanie. Okay. So, ano ba yung tamang sagot? I-reveal na natin. What is this fabric?
Yun.
Chiffon. It's
Yes.
chiffon.
Hindi cake yan, Raf. Alam mo na now.
Yeah. Alam ko na ngayon. When I hear chiffon, I just think of cake. What is chiffon? I mean, I don't know the differences between one piece of cloth to another, but what's the main difference there? What makes chiffon unique?
Mostly, actually, women ang magsusuot niyan eh. It's just light, it's airy fabric. Yan usually for dresses. Yeah, that's what they like. Parang nagpo-flow lang. Yes.
Okay, gets. Okay, nagpo-flow lang, very airy. Parang cake lang, yung cake lang din
Parang
na
cake,
light.
sige. Parang gutom ka na yata, Raf. Mamaya,
talaga
dessert
yan.
tayo ng
Kasi,
cake.
well, I really am clueless, especially because these are for women. As a guy,
Yeah.
I have no idea about these materials, but let's see
Yeah,
the
you
next
wouldn't wear
fabric.
chiffon.
Buti na lang, hindi ako kasali sa pagsasagot dito. Di ko alam yung mga sagot dito. Let's see the next fabric. Okay, ito, ano to? Okay, all I
Alam
can see
nila
is
yan.
brown. I don't know the difference here, but is it A, cotton, B, damask, or C, linen?
Alam
Alright,
nila yan.
tingnan
Yung
natin.
fabric na yan ngayon. Kayang-kaya nila yan.
Oo, sabi ni Adi Hearns, yes. Sabi pedestrian, C. Adi Hearns says B. Alright, may iba pa bang makakasagot? Mukhang nahihirapan ang ating mga kabizkarte tonight kasi
Nakukuha na nila.
talaga.
Definitely. Definitely,
Oo.
guys, hindi na yan cotton. Halata sa texture ng fabric.
Actually, nga,
Ibang
mukha nga
cotton
siya
eh.
medyo magaspang, but
Diba?
cotton is
Yes.
usually soft or
Oh,
smooth.
ayan, alam mo yan, Raf. Oh.
Alam ko kasi lang cotton yung bulak. But I don't know, what's the mask or linen? When I think of linen, kurtina na iisip ko eh. But what is this? May iba pa bang mga sumasagot? Sabi ni Adi Hearns, C na lang. O kanina sinagot niya B, ngayon sabi niya C na lang. Hindi siya sure.
Nag-change answer.
Sabi ni Pinsan, Natasha, C. Alright, so,
Oh.
what is this, Diana? It's C,
Linen.
linen. Oh, buti na lang. Nagpalit ng
Yan.
sagot si
Kuha
Adi
nila
Hearns.
yan.
And tama din si Pinsan. It is C. Saan usually ginagamit
Linen.
ang linen? Ito medyo mukha nga siyang magaspang. So, it's definitely not cotton, ano? Saan ginagamit ang
Yeah.
linen?
I'll be honest I don't like linen for our clothes. We use cotton kasi I like it smooth and flowy. But I see a lot of other brands, parang siguro mas formal ang gusto nila. So they use linen. It's nice naman, basta it's structured correctly. So it's
Hmm.
nice. But for me, for flattering tops, I would rather use mga cotton talaga. Gusto ko kasi
Yeah.
masarap the whole day, yung talagang comfortable. Kaya nakita mo naman yung linen, medyo nga may gaspang kasi. May gaspang
O,
factor.
mukha siyang magaspang na makapal na yung mga
Yeah,
hibla
parang
niya.
hindi masyadong
Parang ang
comfy.
hirap suotin nun here in the Philippines. Napakainit,
Ang init
napaka-humid.
pa. Pawis ka niyan.
Pawis agad, 'di ba? Yeah. But
Yes.
yeah, tama. I totally agree. Cotton or ano, yung mga ganung fabrics na mas malambot,
Top
that's more
choice.
comfortable, 'di ba? That's
Yeah.
the better choice,
Tsaka
especially
yung
here in the
linen,
Philippines.
yung
Mm.
linen hindi maganda kasi pag suot mo, pag lukot na siya, kitang-kita
Oo.
yung lukot. Or well, others would call it
Ah.
lukot mayaman. Pero ako, I don't like the look of that eh.
Yeah, oo
Yeah,
nga.
that's
I
why
mean,
we don't use
kita-kita
it.
parang it doesn't look so neat pag gano'n,
Yeah,
ano?
mabilis malukot
So,
ang linen.
yeah. Oh, let's see
Yeah.
the next material here. Ano yung guess the next fabric? All right.
Ay,
Oh, ito.
madali
Okay.
lang yan.
Oh, madali lang 'to. Ito, I think
Alam mo,
kahit ako mahuhulaan ko 'to, eh.
kay,
But this looks
kaya,
very
baka,
silky.
yeah,
Oo,
okay
ano
yan.
kaya ito? Is it A, velvet, B, satin, or C, cotton? Alright. So, sabi
Yeah.
ni Adherns B, pedestrian says B, Natasha says B.
Uy,
Alright. May iba
pare-pareho
pa bang...
Yan.
Okay, ano mga sagot? Sabi ni Katana, A. Alright, wala
Oh,
na ibang
naiba.
sumasagot.
Naiba.
Na iba, may isang naibang sagot si
Oh.
Katana. Okay. Wala na ibang sasagot. Ayaw pa sumagot ng ibang natin mga kabiskate. Let's see. What is this material? What is this fabric, Diana?
Satin.
Satin. Alright.
Yeah,
So it
just
looks
to tell
very...
you, Raf, yeah, satin is very smooth, silky. We use that for our free satin scrunchies. So every time you purchase flattering tops, we give the clients free satin scrunchies. So we use that for our
Oh.
scrunchies. It's nice for the hair. Hindi masisira yung hair ng mga girls. So that's why we give it away. They can wear it with their flattering tops. They can pair it. So we give that for
Oo.
free when you buy from us.
What makes it nice for the hair? You mentioned na maganda siya para
Yes.
sa buhok. Anong meron sa satin that makes it perfect for the hair?
Kasi 'di ba, Raf, as you can see, silky siya, 'di ba? So pag
Ah.
tinali sa hair ng girl, hindi yung masakit, hindi magkakaroon ng mga yung ayaw ng mga girls na nagkakaroon ng mga bakat-bakat there. Pag iba yung ginamit nila na material, si satin, very silky, very smooth lang. So easy to place on, easy
Mm.
to take off. There.
I see. So that way parang hindi rin makaka-damage sa hair because it's
Yes,
that soft and
definitely. Hindi
silky.
makaka-damage sa hair. Inisip din namin yan.
Ang
kahit
galing.
freebie namin yan, iniisip din namin yan para sa inyo.
Alright, sige. So, do we have another fabric to guess? Meron pa ba? Oh, yes,
Oh,
meron pa.
wow.
Okay, what is this one?
Parang
Alright,
nahirapan
so
ako dito, Raf. Medyo
ako,
magkakamukha.
I'm really clueless with most of this. Yung kanina lang yung medyo nagka-clue ako. So, is it A, cashmere, B, leather, or C, polyester? Okay, ano kaya ito, guys? Ano sa tingin ninyo? Sabi ni pedestrian, yeah, I love it for curly hair, yung satin. Oo, yan. So, mga mahilig
Oh, yan.
mag-scrunchie yan, sina
Yes.
pedestrian. Okay, sabi ni replicate, satin scrunchies are perfect for curly-haired girls like me. #CGM. Oh, sabi ni Misa,
Oo.
madulas. Oo. Oh, sabi ni Adi Hearn, scrunchies. So, yan, mga mahilig talaga mag-scrunchies. Alright. So, tingnan natin ano yung mga sagot ng ating kabiskate. What is this? A, cashmere, B, leather, or C, polyester? Tingnan natin. So, ano sabi ni Adi Hearns? It's A. Natasha says A. Mesa says leather. Pedestrian says C. Cora po says A. Alright. So, what is this? May iba pa bang
What is
makakasagot
it?
sa ating mga kabiskarte? Wala na. Alright. Diana, what is this?
Ayan, polyester. Yes.
Polyester.
That-
Okay.
yes.
Um,
That's used
I
for a
mean,
lot of clothing. I'm sure a lot of brands biniblend nila yan with cotton. And okay siya man siya i-blend with the clothes. So I think a lot of brands would be using polyester in the mix also.
I see. Very curious about that, no? Yeah, polyester sounds very familiar. I see it often, even for
I'm
men's
sure some of
clothing,
your shirts
especially
have.
sa mga,
Yeah,
oo, especially mga undershirt,
cotton and
madalas
polyester blend yan.
polyester,
Yeah.
di ba? But what
Mm.
is with
Yes.
polyester? You mentioned madalas, it's a very common material and it's also
Mm.
really blended with other types of fabric. Anong meron sa kanya? Why? What makes it that versatile?
Well, for us, it's the affordability and the wearability as well. So it's nice when you blend it with cotton. Talagang you can wear
Mm-mm.
it also for every day. So it's just, yeah, it's very basic kasi. You can use it
Ah,
and it comes out nicely with the make of the clothing. Yes. It's
okay,
comfortable.
okay. So it's comfortable talaga din. Oo, I
Yeah,
see. Kaya pala very
that's the main
common din
selling
siya
point
and
talaga.
bine-blend. Oo, and
Yes.
yun pala, so it's tandem siya madalas nga blended with cotton. All right. So,
Cotton.
let's see what's the next one we have in line para sa ating guess the fabric. Meron pa ba?
Meron pa ba tayong fabric? Parang lahat
Meron pa
yata
ba?
na-tackle na
Baka
natin.
naubos na. Naubos na
Naubos na,
yata?
naubos na ng fabric.
Ubos na ba direct? Okay, ubos na yata. Okay.
Okay.
So, okay, sige. Pero balik tayo, no? I mean, very interesting. Ang ganda talaga ng story. I mean, you started with just bazaars back in 2009, and then you entered Instagram in 2013. Things were starting to change in the landscape. How do you do that? No, how do you adapt to these changes in the market, the preferences, especially when you think of fashion, usually fast fashion, and papalit-palit ang trends, di ba? How do you keep up with that? What are your strategies there?
Well, for one, flattering tops is basic. It's something that even if after a few years, you'll be able to wear it still. And what makes us stand out, I know that there are a lot of good basic brands as well in the Philippines, is that we're more than just selling you basics. We're selling you flattering. Because, like as women, we go through a lot of changes with our body when we get pregnant, postpartum. But with flattering tops, even if you go through these body changes, you can still wear our tops. We make clothes that you can wear throughout the year. So I have a lot of clients who tell me, "Hey, I was with you guys, dalaga pa ako. I was in college, I was buying from you na sa bazaars. Now, mommy na ako." Nung pregnant
Wow.
siya, pinakita niya sa akin yung picture. Yeah, ganun yung relationship namin with our clients. So we evolve and we also grow with them. Kasi I know how they feel. Ako rin naman, when I
Mm-mm.
became pregnant, when I became a mom, my body changed a lot. And also when we had to breastfeed, it's so hot to breastfeed. The women would know
Mm-mm.
that. It's also uncomfortable, it's sticky. What's nice with our fabric is that it's cool on the skin, it's comfortable, and when you wear it, we make it in such a way that it flows and it moves with you. Because as moms, you have to do a lot of things and you have to move fast. So what I think
Ang
about
galing-galing. I mean, I love what you mentioned
it
that
has to be
there's that
something that
relationship.
you can
Are you,
wear.
okay. Medyo nagkakaroon lang po tayo ng signal challenges on the side of Diana. But she'll
Yes.
be joining us again later on. Is she back? Is she back? Are you back, Diana?
I'm here. Am I there? Yes.
Ayun, there we
Am I
go.
here?
She's back. Sorry, what were you saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, we can hear you now.
Oh, where was I? I was okay. So with the body changes, our clothes are able to evolve with you. So a lot of clients tell us that they've grown with us through the years, through being a mom, and through all the changes. They are still able to wear flattering tops for years. So sulit na sulit when they buy from us. They get value for money. Aside from that, they get to feel great with the current body they're in. Because a lot of times you don't have time naman to go to the gym right away. Even if your body is not perfect at this state, you can wear flattering tops, but you will feel good with the body you're in. That's what we're trying to promote here, body positivity. It's okay because you have
Mm-mm.
flattering tops to make you feel that, hey, I look good. I can look good with this one. There's a certain style for you with
Yeah,
flattering tops.
that's very powerful, and I love how you mentioned that it's really about building that, building and maintaining that relationship with your customers. I mean, ang ganda no story na yun na from nung dalaga pa, they were still in college
Yes.
until they got married, they got pregnant, they
Yeah.
got kids. How were you able to maintain that relationship? Because usually when we think of especially in fashion and retail, it could be a one-time thing. How do you make sure na it's you're able to maintain that relationship with your customers na hindi, like I said earlier, ayaw natin
Walang
syempre in
iwanan.
business na walang iwanan, di ba? Ayaw natin ng
Yes.
fleeting lang. Gusto natin long-term relationship, di ba? May
Yes.
loyalty. How do you build that loyalty? That's the magic word for every business, loyalty. How do you build that loyalty from your customers? How do you nurture that relationship?
Well, for one, we're very honest with what we have, with the clothes that we have. We're very descriptive as well. And if you would notice our page in Instagram, most of the time you'll see me be the one wearing the clothes, because for me, if it's something that I wouldn't want to wear, I wouldn't sell it to you. I would not recommend it to you. And with my suitcase, we call them our FT hoarders. Kaya sila FT hoarders kasi pag may style ako nilabas, all colors, Diana, ganun ang tiwala nila sa akin. Kasi alam nila, pag sinabi
Wow.
kong, oh, itong style na to, flattering, kasi ganito yung ginawa ko, yung v-neck, in-adjust ko, yung length, in-adjust ko. When they see the photos, alam na nila. And then, they'll send me their photos wearing that too. And then they thank me. That's the blessing for me that, in a way, it's not just a business for me. It's really a passion. Because my clients, they really, they become friends actually. They become friends throughout the years. Nagkikwentuhan na kami after a while. And then they send us a lot of photos. And then pati their kids, because we just recently had our kids line.
Mm.
Even their kids are wearing flattering tops also.
Oh, that's amazing. I mean, you've
Yes.
also branched out into that that sub market na rin, na not just the parents, not just the moms, but also the kids, no? I mean that's amazing na you're able to, and I love how you mentioned na you actually sport it yourself. Ikaw mismo yung model. I mean, we usually hear pag
Low
CEO, that's
budget.
chief everything officer, di ba? But I love that because that
Yes.
actually shows the a true level of authenticity and the brand, no? And actually, ang ganda nung sinabi mo, it's something that you're really believing, and ang tindi no, magsanabi ka na bagong style, all colors. Grabe, kukunin all colors. I mean,
Yes.
wow, Diana, apparently, I think you're the OG influencer. Diba? As early as those years, wala pa na influencer. Ikaw, you're already influencing your customers. I want to look at that. You mentioned you recently launched your line for the kids. No, what was the strategy there? How did you go into that direction? What made you decide to enter that new market?
Well, it was actually inspired by my daughter, Chloe.
Your daughter Chloe.
So I decided if these
Oh,
are me, something
okay,
more.
medyo
That's what made us decide that maybe the mommies who buy from us
yeah.
would also want to buy for their kids and twin matching outfits with their kids. So it's
Oh,
cute,
isn't
diba?
that
So they would be
cute?
wearing their V-necks. And then their kid would be wearing
Yes.
the V-necks. It's so cute. Yes. Yeah.
Oo, ang cute nun, matchy-matchy yung mag-ina. I mean, I could
Yes.
imagine it. And it was inspired from your, again, just like when you
My
started it
daughter.
was from your own experience. Now it's also from your own
Yes.
daughter. No?
So it's
And
very
how does that,
personal.
oh, very, very personal, and that really gives it
Yeah.
a whole level of authenticity, and that's what everyone wants now. When we think of brands, when we it's really connecting to have that relationship. It starts with authenticity. And how did you see that translate in the market? Now, how's the reception of your customers, especially as you entered that new segment for the kids?
Actually, it was very exciting because at first I thought, would anyone want to buy? But because the moms were buying from us already for years and they already had their, let's say, a common style like the V-neck, when we released the ones for the kids, they started to get also the same colors that they had. So they would also send us their photos with the kids, and it was very cute. And then eventually, actually, Raf, the dads, nagselos yung mga dads, sabi nila, sandali, bakit kayo lang? Tapos, yung kinikwento sa akin ng client ko, hinawakan daw ng husband niya yung tela, o yung lambot niyan, and tried it for himself. And then after that, the men started buying as well.
Wait,
Our V-necks.
I
It
thought
started
that
with all the V-necks. You would see some men. Yes.
V-neck shirts. I was thinking like V-neck
V-neck, yeah.
dresses or
Oh, no.
blouses.
Our V-neck shirts, Raf, we have a lot of men wearing it as well because they like the fabric so much. It's so comfortable. They wanted one for themselves as well. So the wives started to buy also for their husbands.
Wow, I mean that's
Yes.
how you really
The
grow
whole
from your
family.
existing market. The whole
Yes.
family. Ang
Yes.
ganda
It's a
nito
family.
nun. I mean, it's become
Yes.
the family thing, a family brand, no? And every business would also want to be that of a household name essentially, no? And what are your ano yung biskarte mo doon in getting them to realize, uy, baka maganda nga pala tong not just for mommy, not just for the wife, but also for the kids and also for the husband now, di ba? Was that something intentional or what was it just incidental na na-discover niyo na lang biglang, uy, pwede pala.
Actually, Raf, another personal story. My husband, my husband, of course, he sees the clothes that I have. And then one time, he was going out to the office and it was a really hot day. And then he couldn't find anything to wear kasi yung mga polos ng guys, medyo mainit yung tela nyo, yung
Yeah.
fabric. So I told him, how about you try this black v-neck? Sabi niya, hindi, pang babae yan, babe. Sabi ko, no, just try it on. So my husband tried it on. And then he looked good in it. He was very comfortable. He already started wearing it the whole day. And then I just got one photo of him. I posted it. And then everyone started to realize, hey, my boyfriend, my husband can also wear this. So because they know me, I do things personally. So they say, oh, her husband's wearing it. So I guess it's okay also. We started
Oo. Are you still there, Diana? Medyo nagkakaroon lang po ulit ng technical difficulties. Yung connection po ni Diana parang medyo nagiging parang din na magaspang. Is she back? Okay, pero while we're still
here.
trying to reconnect. Oh, there she is. She's back. Hey, Diana, there you are. Sorry, what were you saying?
Yeah. So there, it's also another personal story why the men started. I always started with me, with us, with the family. If it's something that my family would use, I would recommend it. We would try it out first before we sell it.
Wow. I love that. I mean, it starts from something very personal, no? It starts from the family, from your own home. That really makes it very
Yeah.
very real, no? Keeping it real in the market. And as you go, you're really finding those gaps, kung saan papasok, you're pretty much filling those
Yes.
gaps. And ang galing-galing nun. Speaking of filling the gaps though, let's have another game of In the
Okay.
Quiz. This time it's filling in the blanks, all right? Parang filling in the gaps. Let's now fill in the blanks. Let's see our game right now called In the Quiz. Ayan, unloading. All right, so fill in the blanks, guys. Ating mga kabiskarte, alam niyo na how this goes. We'll be flashing a statement, and then you just gotta fill in the blank. Let's see our first statement right here. All right, so the blank is the oldest item of clothing. Is it A, the loincloth, B, denim, or C, silk? All right, ano
History
kaya
pala tayo,
ito?
Rafa.
History
May
naman
history
tayo
pa
ngayon,
tayo.
oo. Uso ang history
Wow.
dito sa In The Biz. Alright, lumalabas ang ating mga history buffs, history geeks. Dito natin malalaman. Alright, so ano mga sagot ng ating mga kabizkarte? Sabi ni Adi Hearns, A.
Hulaan nyo na
Sabi ni
lang.
Hype of G, A. Sabi ni Pedestrian, A. Okay, ano pa kaya? Sino mga kasama natin dito ngayon?
Wow.
Thanks for joining us. Joshua Delicious. Also si Xiong Hyuns Bay. Okay. mukhang may K-pop idol yata tayong sumama dito. Thanks for joining us here. Ah, sino pa? Okay, Novelin May Duarte says, C, I am Yuan. I also joined Dottie Tuti. Also joined. Thanks for joining us, guys, here for In The Biz. All right, so tingnan natin. What is the answer? The oldest item of clothing? It's
A.
loincloth. Okay, tama-tama dyan. See? Sino yung nauna natin? Si Addy Hearns got it right by saying A. Let's see. Ano yung second natin dito for in the quiz? Fill in the blanks. All
Wow.
right, good. Wow. Around blank of pants are sold every single year. Is it 1, 2,
Dami
or
yan.
3 billion? All right. So,
Dami. Oh,
dami nito. Billion talaga, billion. Do you
yan.
also do you have pants also and under or is it just really just the tops?
Well, not yet, but we do have shorts already. So, flattering bottoms. Yeah, we do have shorts.
Flattering bottoms. Okay, shorts.
Stretch, no
Okay.
pants yet. Yes.
No pants yet.
The
But are you looking to go into that direction then or just keeping it comfy, keeping it casual that way with the shorts?
If we can make flattering pants, why not? We'll study it. If we can make something that will be flattering, of course, we definitely love that.
Oh, yun. Abangan natin yan,
Yes.
guys. So, what do you
Yes.
guys think, no? Is it 1, 2, or 3 billion pants sold every single year? Alright? Tingnan natin ano sinasabi ng ating mga kabizkarte. Sabi ni Adi Hearns, sabi niya, C. Pedestrian says C. Renabeth says B. I am Yuan says C. Pati si Denise Gabriel says C. Uy, I am Yuan. Thanks for those halo-halo that you just sent. Nag-send siya ng tatlong halo-halo. Thank you so much for that, I am Yuan. So what is this? What do you think kaya Diana? Is it 1, 2, or 3 billion? What's your bet?
I'm just gonna make a wild guess. Let's just go for B. Wild guess lang.
B. Wild best.
Oh,
Oh yes, and
may
right
prize
on
ba ako
that
dyan?
right there. Yup, you hit the nail on the
Prize.
head. It's 2 billion. All right. So kita-kita yung laking market. Baka maganda nga explore yan, ano? Ang dami-dami pala. 2 billion pants are
Dami,
sold
yeah.
every single year. So sino dito? Tingnan natin, baka pwede na natin i-study dito, market study sa ating mga kabiskarte. Sino-sino dito mahilig bumili ng pants? How many pants do you guys buy in a year? Ilan yung kinocontribute nyo dyan sa 2 billion pants na
Oh,
nabebenta every year? Diba?
laking
Uy, si
market
Chito
pala,
Galang,
Raf.
ang laki nun. I mean,
Oh,
how many, ilang billion nga ba ulit yung
grabe
population? And
yan.
also you have 2 billion ang pants. Almost, that's more than a population of a country, right?
I know. I'd
Grabe.
love to sell 2 billion pants.
Yeah, everyone would want that, right?
Yeah.
So let's see what's the next item here for in the quiz. Fill in the blanks. Fashion's consumption
Ooh.
of resources blank is projected to double by
Oh
2030.
no.
Is it A, especially paint and oil, B, water and cloth, or C, water and oil? All
Ang
right.
hirap,
So,
Raf.
ang hirap nito. Kahit hindi ko, ang,
Sandali,
ang
ah.
hirap nito.
Can I call a
Paint
friend?
and
Parang
oil?
hirap.
Oo, ako din eh.
Oo,
Kaso
sandali.
mag-isa na lang ako dito sa office. Hindi ko alam kung sino pwede kong i-call na friend
Oo
dito.
nga. Help us,
Pero,
guys. Oo.
what do you guys think sa ating mga kabiskarte? Is it paint and oil, water and cloth, or water and oil? At again, passions, consumption of these resources. Ano yung top resources na to that what we're seeing to double by 2030? Gosh, that's already less than 10 years from now. Diba?
Lapit na.
So, oo, lapit na. Sabi ni Adi Hearns, it's B. Novelin May says B. Pedestrian says B. Haruaki says B.
Uy,
Novelin
puro B.
Duarte says C. O, naiba si Novelin May. Sabi niya C. Renabeth says A. Okay. So, ano nga ba? Kasi fashion, I would also guess it's probably the one with cloth. Kasi, how can you do fashion
Ako din,
without
baka
cloth?
B na rin. Oo, majority
B din
wins na
sagot ko.
kaya.
Ano ba yung sagot? Ano ang ating sagot dito? What's the right answer? It's water and
See?
oil.
May
See?
oil pala.
Saan
Okay.
galing yung oil? Why is there oil there? I mean, I would think lang water for washing. Bakit may oil? Is there oil involved in preparing ano?
Hindi ko
Or
sure, Raf, kung sinong gumagamit ng oil. Medyo na-confuse ako doon.
ako
Trick
din na-confuse
question.
ako.
Oo, akala
Very
ko
tricky
talaga B.
question.
Ah,
Okay. Actually, sumagot ang
factory.
ating producer. Trivia from
Okay.
ating producer na napakagaling sa mga trivia. Sabi niya, it's oil for machines sa mga
Ah,
factory. Tama naman. Tama actually for large production, no? Pag mass production o sa mga clothing, talagang kailangan mo ng oil, 'di ba? Para properly running yung mga equipment. Sabi ni user 949, pasaway. Naman nagulat yata talaga lahat. Kaya kahit si Vicka Jansen said also B, 'di ba? Nakakagulat, biglang yung pala it's C. Water and oil. I mean, who would have thought that, 'di ba? Pero may nakatama yata eh.
yeah.
Si Novelyn May actually got it. Siya na yung bukod tanging nagsabi ng C.
Wow,
Ang galing-galing ni Novelyn May. Pero speaking of
galing.
that, no, when we think of producing all these clothes, I mean, we'd love to hear from you, Diana. You've been your company has been standing for 11 years. Gaano kadami yung team, kalaki yung team mo that's been making all these clothes? Do you have how many factories do you have to produce all these flattering tops?
I'd love to say there are a lot, but to be very honest, it's just our operations. We just keep it very small. We just have less than 10 staff doing all the work, and we're able to do it. As long as your staff is efficient, you have an organized process, you can be able to do that as well. No
Wow,
need for all the big, yeah.
that's amazing. I mean, people it's easy to think now if a company's been standing for that long, more than a decade already, you'd expect ang dami-dami ng tao, like, probably someone might think in the hundreds and you've had a lot of equipment, no? But how are you able to do that to keep it sustainable with such a lean team of less than 10? What's it like? Ano yung biskarte mo dun?
Actually, it all has to be efficient and organized. And it also helps us with lowering the cost. Kasi imagine if you had so many other employees, tataas yung costing mo. Ang mangyayari niyan,
Mm-mm.
ipapatong mo din sa product mo. Di tataas din yung price ng product mo. Hindi na magiging exciting for the clients to buy from you because masyado na mataas yung cost mo. You have to cut the things or the stuff na hindi naman kailangan. If there are things that you can do or things that you can automate, you might as well do that so that you can cut on costs and then you can give the best price to your clients. Value for money.
Value for money. Yes, that is true. That is really the key. Guys, narinig nyo na. Yun ang talagang biskarte ni Diana to be able to withstand the test of time for 11 years, including 2020 pandemic year where it all
No.
hit. No? What was that like for you, Diana, in
Wah!
2020 with the lockdown? How were you able to withstand that even with a very lean team of less than 10, and yet here you are, you're still standing, still very strong with flattering tops. How did you do that? How did you stand strong in 2020?
Actually, it was very hard, Raf. So we were not able to sew clothes during the time when the pandemic hit. So we had to innovate. I had to think, what would my staff be doing? If they stop
Mm-mm.
working, what about their livelihood? That's what I was.
Oh, may konting glitch po tayo ulit. May ano lang, little connection problems again. So habang guys, what do you think about that? No, I mean, what are your thoughts about yung biskarte ni Diana across all the years, more than a decade, and yet here they are, and they were able to withstand the test of time. Ang ganda no sinabi niya. I think sayang lang na cut off siya, but isn't that beautiful? Isn't that very powerful what she just said na pag tumigil sila, no, it's not just a loss of money, but it's actually loss of livelihood for her people. 'Di ba? I mean, for every business owner, that is actually something very important to keep in mind na we're not just employing individuals, but with every single person working in the company, there's actually a family being represented. 'Di ba? So yung sinasabi niyan, less than 10 or kahit sabi mong 10 yan, that's not just 10 people, not just 10 individuals, but actually 10 families that are being supported, sustained by her company, Flattering Tops. Diba? And that's what really business is able to do. Diba? It's actually creating that sustainability para sa mga pamilya that are being supported by the business. And also, of course, creating that impact for the market. And Diana is back. Hey there, Diana. We
Sorry.
lost you there for a bit. Kinabahan ako sa iyo.
Yeah.
Nauubusan ako ng sasabihin ko.
Oh, okay, okay. Sige tayo, Raf.
Sorry, you were saying. So, ayun,
Okay.
what was that like in the pandemic na ano, you sayang, actually, I was just saying, ang ganda ng sinabi mo, you were really concerned about how that would impact the livelihood of your people. What was it like?
So I think everyone scrambled to know what we had to do. So operations, we couldn't start manufacturing the clothes right away. So we had to find a way for our people to have a livelihood. What we did was we sold what people needed at that time, which was the face masks. We used the cloth that we had, and we sold face masks for adults and kids. We were only selling it for about 25 pesos at that time.
Wow,
We did that, yes, so that we could at least continue the livelihood of the mananahe and also the delivery personnel.
grabe, 25 pesos lang. I can
Yes,
imagine you gotta drive volume for that. And
volume.
how
Yes.
can you make sure you get the right margins to sustain operations na, and the operations itself, oh my gosh, 25 and you
Halos
drive
wala na.
volume. Ang
Halos wala,
hirap
totoo lang,
nun, but
Raf, halos wala na yun. We were
oo,
just
halos
doing
wala
it
na.
para yung mga mananahe hindi sila mawala ng work. And then, of course, our staff couldn't come to the office kasi, di ba, naka-lockdown tayo lahat. So, I
Mm.
had to do all the packing here, kahit pagod na 12 midnight, 1 a.m. ako, nagpatulong na ako sa husband ko, sa mga helpers here na lang sa house, kasi the staff
Wow.
couldn't go here. Kasi
Yes.
everyone didn't know what do we do with this virus. So kami na lang gumawa. It was really so hard. But we had to continue doing it. And then I think that helped us, that we didn't stop. Our clients saw that we were continuing. And then
Mm.
eventually, they were buying the clothes already. So
Yeah,
that really
that
helped.
is really inspiring. I mean, kitang-kita dun yung passion and drive from the founder na parang we gotta keep this running for our people, and even the market can see that how you are very determined and passionate about what you do. So as we wrap up, no, Diana, what would be your top three bizcar tips para sa ating mga kabizkarte here tonight?
Okay, I'll just keep it simple. So number one is you have to believe and you have to love the product that you're selling. Because how can you
Mm-mm.
translate it to the audience that, hey, this is a great product, if you yourself, hindi ka sure kung okay ba itong binibenta ko, if you have doubts. You have to be the number one fan of your product, the number one believer.
Mm-mm, that's true.
And then the
I mean,
second tip would be, yeah, the second tip would be to be passionate about what you're doing. Because when you love what you do, it will just flow naturally. Ako kahit madaling araw, pag mayroon akong idea, 3 a.m., isusulat ko sa notes ko para I won't forget it. And then I'll be up early in the morning. Halos hindi na nga ako natutulog because I live and breathe Flattering Tops. I love it that much. I have a lot of ideas. There are a lot of things that I know that we still can do for Flattering Tops.
mm-mm,
And I guess
yes.
the last tip would be, like you said, Raf, we only have a small staff, a small team. So if I can do it, you guys can definitely do it also. It's gonna be, if you love what you're doing, it's gonna come easily, it will flow easily, and you'll be happy and fulfilled, and you'll be able to help other people along the way as well.
That is beautiful. So, guys, narinig niyo na from Diana herself. Yan ang kanyang recipe, yung kanyang Bizcar tips para sa atin tonight. Yan ang kanyang recipe that actually allowed her to run yung Flattering Tops for 11 years. Guys, that's more than a decade. So, alam niyo na, you gotta be, first and foremost, you're the number one fan of your own product, your own service, whatever it might be you're offering to the market, you should be the number one fan because doon nanggagaling yung authenticity. I mean, who would believe you in with what you're selling if you're not believing in it yourself, diba? And second, you gotta be passionate about it. I mean, I love what you said na you're pretty much living, breathing your brand. I mean, I think it's very common. I believe it's very common for every business owner, no, kahit na pumikit na tayo, natutulog na tayo, napapanaginipan pa rin natin yung trabaho natin. I mean, that's just how it
Yes.
goes, right? And then all the ideas, sometimes even in our dreams, lumalabas din all those ideas and we just gotta
True.
get up and write them down, di ba?
Yes.
That's where
Sayang eh, baka
passion
mawala.
comes in. Baka mawala, tama. You gotta
Oo.
put it down because that's the passion translating, expressing itself, no? And ang ganda din sinabi, alam niyo na guys, if you have those ideas brewing in your mind, no? Nakita natin, si Diana was able to do it even with a team of less than 10, but running now for more than 10 years, diba? A team of less than 10, but running for more than 10 years. Guys, if she can do it, you can too. So alam niyo na, kayang-kaya natin yan. You gotta just take that leap of faith and really believe in what you have to offer and be passionate about it. And that is how you make a business succeed and stand just like yung Flattering Tops for more than a decade. So grabe, ang ganda talaga. We're so blessed with your story. That was a real inspiration. Thank you for joining us tonight for this 12th episode of In The Biz, Diana. So before we wrap this up, no, maybe you could share us more. How can we find more about or learn more about Flattering Tops?
Yes, guys, if you have the time, we would really appreciate if you could check us out. If you have Facebook, it's at Flattering Tops, and also in Instagram. Just check us out. And, I'd like for you guys to just try at least one, and then you'd love it, and you'd say, hey, it really is flattering.
Wow, okay. Alam niyo na guys. So hanapin niyo lang yung Flattering Tops on Facebook and Instagram. That's at Flattering Tops. And you'll see that it really is flattering. Thank you so much again for joining
Thank
us this night. So
you.
guys, alam niyo na how it means, how to be sustainable in business. So if you're thinking of a business or you've started your business or you are looking to start a business in the future, you gotta just do it right now and really believe in what you have to offer and be passionate about it. Thank you so much again. We are so much better for it from what we've learned from you tonight, Diana. All right. So, guys, that wraps up our 12th episode. Can you believe it? It's already been 3 months. We've been talking about yung mga Bizcarte stories for 3 months now. So, thank you so much for joining us all these 3 months for In The Biz. All right. So, of course, you have different Plus Network shows here on Kumu. All right. So, as you know, yung In The Biz, we have that 8 to 9 p.m. on Tuesdays. Tomorrow, for our sports fanatics, for all our athletes right there, you've got Pick a Side 8 to 9 p.m. On Thursdays, you have a 2 hour special of Seaworthy. And of course, on Friday, we also have 8 to 9 p.m. Perk Inspired. So whatever show, wherever you might be in your life right now, we have the show for you. And right here on Kumu with Plus Network, you can be more and be plus. So thank you so much again. Again, I'm Raf Layosa, founder and CEO of Retail Gate Technologies. Thank you so much for joining us for another episode of In The Biz. And before, always remember, no more than just making money in business. It's all about building meaningful relationships because that is what business is all about. So until then, we'll see you next week. And together, let's be more and be plus on Kumu. See you then.